The news was just announced that WNBA TV ratings are down more than 50% since Caitlin Clark's injury, and it was also reported that the Indiana Fever television viewership is also down over 53%. Now, I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA.
The WNBA just got hit with a brutal reality check. It's like trying to binge your favorite show with no Wi-Fi, nothing's happening. Because without Caitlin Clark, this league feels emptier than a mall food court after closing time. Playoff numbers, they're falling faster than your phone battery when you leave every app open. And now the league is scrambling, desperately asking the big question: where did the fans go? Did they vanish overnight, or just flip the channel to pickleball highlights instead? Honestly, this playoff meltdown is juicier than any reality TV drama. Buckle up.
Is there any chance that the WNBA, that Kathy Engelbert saw some of the ratings that I'm about to show you now and said, hey, Indiana Fever, can you do us a favor? Can you do us a solid? Can you just tease a Caitlin Clark return, kind of boost these up a little bit? Can you just dangle a Caitlin Clark return in front of the fans' faces, try to boost these ratings up a little bit? There was one matchup that this league could consistently rely on to produce massive viewers.
This year was supposed to be the year, the breakthrough, the moment the WNBA proved it belonged on the same stage as the big leagues. Instead, the whole thing blew up in their face. Picture them stumbling into a giant tub of nacho cheese and then trying to pretend it was all part of the plan. Please. Nobody's buying it.
A shocker. Imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when Uncle Casey found out that the WNBA is struggling to maintain their ratings without Caitlin Clark. To make matters worse, and this is something I have definitely noticed in the last 3 or 4 weeks, especially since the All-Star game, the WNBA seems to be struggling to maintain. And
let's be real, this season has been both incredible and painful. The talent is there, the games should be electric. But every time you tuned in, it felt like the commissioner treated player safety as more of a suggestion than an actual responsibility. Injuries piled up. Fouls were missed like refs were squinting through cracked glasses. If you came for entertainment, you probably left faster than you could say, Caitlin Clark. And Clark herself, defenders turned her into a crash test dummy. Every drive to the basket looked like an audition for WWE SmackDown. She spent more time recovering on the sidelines than lighting it up on the floor.
Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport.
How was the attendance for Team USA in the Olympics? What would it have been like if Caitlin Clark was playing on that team? Remember the first game? Look at this right here. National broadcast viewership. What are we talking about here? 1,000, what is that? 1.219? Is that the number? And the game afterwards got 485,000. So the Fever and their game against the Minnesota Lynx was 1.219 million.
That's when you know things are spiraling, when the biggest storyline of the season isn't the games, but whether the league itself can survive to the end of the playoffs. At this point, the whole thing is being held together with a strip of duct tape labeled, "Please don't look too closely." Spoiler, everyone already has.
NBA's black superstars should thank their lucky stars. For the record ratings Caitlin Clark is detonating, even if new fans are mostly white fans. It doesn't matter what color eyeballs are. But the other day, I must admit, it hit me like Katie Bell Henderson telling me that's enough. I told myself it's not racist for me to—
And don't even get me started on the officiating. Some nights it felt like they pulled refs straight out of a mall food court. One wiping ketchup off their shirt while calling a technical, another clearly thinking they signed up to ref a roller derby. Consistency? Forget it. It was as reliable as a magic 8-ball. One night, obvious fouls got ignored. Next night, someone sneezes and boom, technical foul. If refs had a stat line, it'd be nothing but turnovers and blown calls.
WNBA has a problem, and that problem is Caitlin Clark not playing in WNBA games. Now, what all does this affect? The ratings are plummeting. Guys, there's ratings for a couple of these games that are...
Then there's the injury epidemic. This season looked more like a surgeon's holiday wish list than a basketball schedule. Clark got hammered nightly like she owed defenders rent money. Angel Reese? She straight up bailed mid-season. In almost any other sport, that's a scandal. Here, it just screams how broken the system is. Why stick around when the commissioner treats players' safety like a punchline, refs run games like a circus, and stars drop like flies? Reese probably figured she'd make more money and take fewer elbows, racking up followers online.
The trend that the WNBA is excited about. That's a trend that Kathy Engelbert would say, hey, Fever, hey, Lynn Dunn, hey, Kelly, hey, Amber, can you guys start dangling that Caitlin Clark return like you used to do? You know, before Caitlin Clark gave a statement and you guys were hands off?
Here's the truth. None of this happened in a vacuum. For years, the WNBA has begged for attention, insisted it's on the rise. But when they finally had the golden ticket, Clark, they fumbled it like amateurs. Before her injuries, fans tuned in, ESPN actually cared, SportsCenter aired highlights, and Twitter pretended to understand a pick and roll. But once she went down, ratings crashed harder than Reese's commitment to the season. The league's entire marketing plan revolved around one player, and their only strategy for her was letting her get hacked to pieces. Sure, some diehards shrug and say, injuries happen. Fouls are part of the game. But this isn't just bad luck. This is leadership failing spectacularly. The commissioner has been lounging like a substitute teacher who's lost the class. Stars quitting mid-season. Refs turning games into clown shows. Fans tuning out. That's not bad breaks, that's failure.
Indiana, against the Chicago Sky, right after that game, they opened an investigation once again into the fans, where they found nothing, but the damage had already been done at that point. If some of these things happen just one time here and there, or there's one certain media personality who's just always saying these kind of things, then whatever. I feel like fans as a whole can be like, okay, whatever, this person is just a hater. But this is something that has happened over and over and over again, and over time, it starts chipping away at how much you're going to actually care and want to support an organization if they continue to do.
The healthy players still out there. They're fighting through games that look more like rugby scrums or professional wrestling than basketball. Half the time, it feels like you're watching SummerSlam instead of the WNBA playoffs. You're just waiting for someone to pull out a steel chair. Meanwhile, the commissioner goes on TV cheerfully rambling about growth and expansion. Calling this growth is like calling a house fire, new lighting design. Completely absurd, and yet, here's the kicker. The athletes themselves are phenomenal. They give everything, every night. They don't deserve refs who treat games like birthday parties. They don't deserve leadership that treats their health like an afterthought. And they definitely don't deserve a league that only shows up when it's convenient. But here we are. Ratings tanked. Arenas empty. Injuries everywhere. Fans questioning if the league can even survive another year like this. If this was supposed to be the season of growth, it grew into a disaster instead.
That's it for today's video. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.